In this video, let us try to find the values of few of the trigonometric functions at different angles. So let's solve these 4 problems. If you already know how to solve them, please pause the video, give it a try, and then you can come back and check the solutions. If you're liking this channel, please subscribe and also share this video with your friends. So let's get started. Let's solve the first problem. Let's find the value of sine of 7 pi by 4. So before we start, let's recall few concepts. So we have 4 quadrants. So in the first quadrant, this is the first quadrant, so all are positive. In the second quadrant, only sine is positive, and in the third quadrant, only tan is positive, and in the fourth quadrant, only cosine is positive. So when I say sine, that means it includes sine and cosecant, and when I say tan, it includes cot as well, and when I say cos, it includes secant as well. So an easy way to remember this is all students take course. So A, S, T and C. So all students take course. So just remember this in order, and you can apply this to all the problems that you'll encounter in trigonometric functions. Now let's apply this logic to sine of 7 pi by 4. So how I would approach is, we know that pi by 4 is nothing but 45 degrees. So basically what we are trying to do is 7 times 45 degrees. So this is the first step that we have to follow. So 7 times 45 is 315 degrees, correct? Now, where would 315 degrees fall? So this is 90, then this would be, the total would be 180, and these 3 together would be 270. So 315 would fall in the fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, only cosecant and secant are positive. So we definitely know that the answer that we would get is a negative value, correct? So when we know that the angle formed is in the fourth quadrant, we can apply 2 pi minus x to this problem. What is 2 pi minus x? It is 360 degrees minus x. So in this case, what would this be? So 360 degree minus x is equal to 315. So x is 45 degrees, correct? So we can rewrite the question as sine of 2 pi minus pi by 4. That is what we changed the question to. If you calculate this, if you apply the common denominator, it would be 8 pi minus pi, which is 7 pi divided by 4. Now, what is sine of 2 pi minus x? It is minus sine x, because in the fourth quadrant, only cosine and secant are positive. All the other trigonometric functions are negative. Now, this would be sine of minus sine of pi by 4, which is equal to minus sine of 45 degrees, which is equal to minus 1 by square root of 2. So this is how we can solve the question sine of 7 pi by 4. Let's solve the second problem. We have to find the value of cos of 7 pi by 6. Now let's start by splitting this question. So what is pi by 6? Pi by 6 is 30 degrees. So 7 pi by 6 is 210 degrees. So 210 degrees is in third quadrant. So if it is a third quadrant, what is the rule we follow? All students take course. So in the third quadrant, only tan, and cot are positive. So if only tan and cot are positive, our question is related to cos. So answer is definitely negative. So we know that part. Now, if it is in the third quadrant, what can we apply here? So this part is pi, and when we enter this part, it is x. So we can apply something called pi plus x. Correct? So now how do we apply it? So this can be rewritten as pi plus x is equal to 180 plus x is equal to 210. So x is 30 degrees. So we are solving for cos of 180 plus 30 or cos of pi plus 30 degrees, which is nothing but cos of pi plus 30 degrees minus cos of 30 degrees. And what is cos 30? It's square root of 3 by 2. So this is how we can solve the second problem, cos of 7 pi by 6. Let's solve the third problem, cos of minus 8 pi by 3. Now we know that there are two types of functions called even functions and odd functions. We discussed that in the previous video. So even function is f of minus x is equal to f of x, and odd function is f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So what is cos of minus x? Cos of minus x is cos x. So we can rewrite the problem as cos of 8 pi by 3. We can ignore the negative sign. Now let's follow the same procedure. What is pi by 3? Pi by 3 is 60 degrees. So 8 pi by 3 is 8 times 60, which is 480 degrees. Correct? When we see something greater than 360 degrees, that means an entire circle has been completed. Now let's go back to our trick. The first quadrant is all are positive. Second quadrant is sign is positive. All students take course. So in the third quadrant, only tan and cot are positive, and in the fourth quadrant, cosine is positive. Now, if it is 480 degrees, that means it has completed 360 and also moved an extra 120 degrees. That means it is in the second quadrant. So this is where 120 degrees would be. Now, so this 480 is nothing but 360 degrees plus 120. Correct? So if we apply this now, we know that our calculation would be in the second quadrant because we can ignore the entire circle. Like once it completes the circle and goes forward, the values again would start repeating. It's like a cyclic function. So basically, we are trying to find cos of 120 degrees. Now, what would cos of 120 degrees be? It would definitely be a negative value because it is second quadrant. We are sure about that. Now, when it is second quadrant, we can redefine this as cos of 90 plus 30 degrees. So what is cos of pi by 2 plus x? It is minus sine x. Correct? So this would change to cos of pi by 2 plus pi by 6, which is minus sine of pi by 6, which is minus 1 by 2, because sine 30 is equal to 1 by 2 and there is a negative, so it is minus 1 by 2. So this is how we can solve cos of minus 8 pi by 3. Let's solve the fourth problem. Here we have to find sine of minus 25 pi by 4. So how would we approach this? We will find this in degrees. So this is sine of minus 25 times 45 degrees, which is sine of, please do the multiplication, it is sine of minus 1125 degrees. Now we know that sine of minus x is minus sine x. So this is an important thing we learned in the previous videos. So now we know that the answer is definitely going to be a negative value. Correct? So if it is going to be a negative value, how do we solve this? Let's see what 1125 degree means. So one complete rotation is 360 degrees. Two complete rotations are 720 degrees. Three complete rotations are 1080 degrees. Correct? If you multiply 360 by 3, it would be 1080. So we can completely subtract 1080 from 1125 just to find out where the final point is. So 1125 minus 1020, 1125 minus 1080 is 45 degrees. Correct? Now, what is 45 degrees? 45 degrees is in the first quadrant. So if it is in the first quadrant, what would the value of sine 45 be? It is 1 by square root of 2. But because the question has sine of minus x, which is minus sine x, our value would be minus 1 by square root of 2. So this is the answer for sine of minus 25 pi by 4. So if you have some other solution, please put it in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe the channel and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.